sustainable land use. Nearly 30 years later, the process remains incomplete, leaving the petitioners in limbo and prolonged uncertainty. The county government submits these remarks pursuant to Article 119 of the Constitution of Kenya, Section 50, and the devolved land administration role conferred upon the counties under the 4th schedule of the Constitution. Chair, there are facts pertaining this petition, and notably, via presidential directive in 1996, the residents of 1999 Excision Authority survey was funded and conducted. The authority was issued by a letter dated 22nd of March 1999, and acting on this authority, a survey was conducted by Kenya Survey with an intention of relocating the residents of old Koiben to new Koiben adjacent to the Kapsabet Kisumu Road. Chair, subsequently members moved from where they were, which was steeper, to the place nearer the main road where they are to date, and that is the area you visited last time. Accordingly, the residents of Koiben village were indeed relocated to the new area, excised on the edge of the South Nandi forest. The transition of government in 2002 disrupted continuity and implementing the presidential directive, causing the excision process to stall and leaving the Koiben community in uncertainty. So people had to just reside there. The whole process came to an end, a stop. And the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya in 2010, together with the enactment of key statutes, which included the Land Act of 2012, Land Registration Act of 2012, the National Land Commission Act of 2012, and the Forest Management and Conservation Act of 2016, revived the framework for lawful action, setting the stage for renewed process on the land exchange. So, Chair, that process was altered in 2010 when the new constitution came in, and it meant a new way of doing things. In 2019, the National Land Commission, prior to that in 2016, the now defunct County Land Management Board undertook a beneficiary validation exercise, which confirmed the eligibility of Koiben residents for allocation. In 2019, the National Land Commission, NLC, formally recommended a conclusion of the exchange program, subsequently issued a Gazette notice on 1st of March 2019 supporting the alteration of forest boundary to enable planning, survey, and titling of the area after the extensive investigative hearings in mid-2018. So, Chair, what had happened when Governor Sang came in office, through his efforts, NLC camped in Nandi for about a month, hearing various historical injustice land issues. One of them was this one of Koiben, and after the hearing of it all, this significant intervention, Koiben residents remained without title deeds to date, and they continue to occupy gazetted forest land, underscoring the urgent need for final legal and administrative action to conclude the process. Chair, it is important to note that where the Koiben community moved from was their very land, and they held the titles for those pieces of land. Now, when they were relocated, that part was gazetted as a forest, and subsequently trees were planted. It is now a forest cover, so they do not have their titles. The area was gazetted as a forest. The titles were revoked. Trees have been planted. It is now a forest, but where they are is yet to be degazetted to allow settlement of them, for them to acquire titles. Chair, allow me in this submission not to read through the legal and policy basis, because it is basically underscoring the basis of doing this, the Constitution, the County Government Act, all the legal frameworks that allow us and allow this petition to have been done, the mandate of various organs, including Parliament and NLC, which is actually the law, and I would seek that you allow me to skip that section. I will proceed to what we are calling Parliament to do, then I will proceed to our recommendations as a government. That in light of the foregoing, constitutional provisions, statutory mandates, and national policy commitments, it is evident that the excision and settlement of Koiben residents is not merely an administrative obligation, but is a constitutional and legal imperative. Parliament, as the custodian of public interest and the approving authority for forest boundary variations, in thus is called upon to exercise its legislative mandate to ensure the 19 in pursuit of their mandate, they are all checked by Parliament. It is on this basis that we are seeking that then Parliament kindly exercise their oversight role and push to ensure that every one of us, be it this having been a presidential directive of 1996. The county government of Nandi fully supports the petition and recognizes the Koiben matter as a historical land injustice that requires urgent redress. It's 30 years redress. We have emphasized before that their own land on it, and they were moved to an area which is yet to be degazetted and them to be given title to complete the relocation and titling. We take note that once this process kicks off, we will be obliged to do the planning bit, to do the surveying bit, and to engage the public to ensure that this is done smoothly. The government also commits to providing support in line with its mandate, working with this committee and relevant agencies. Chair, and that is the very reason why we asked that we appear before this committee, these submissions, which document pathway to titles boundaries, necessary to conclude the Koiben land exchange process in line with Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act of 2016. B, that the Cabinet Secretary for Environment and Forestry shall secure Cabinet approval for the degazettement and table the proposal before Parliament for statutory approval, ensuring full compliance with Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act of 2016. Environment and Forestry be directed to gazette the excision area as pleaded in the petition before the committee, thereby formalizing the legal framework for settlement and titling. Number D, that the Ministry of Lands, through the Department of Settlement and the National Titling Center, expedites the survey where is as is basis to aid the process, as many of the original title deeds holders have since passed on, will be in the field demarcating the area. It's costly exercise, quite costly. It requires vehicles, fueling, sometimes upkeep in terms of DSS for those officers of the national government. And this process could even stall if that support is not accorded.